Hello everyone. So in addition to passing along the template, I also want to record this video just to walk everyone through the template. So before we begin, I just want to remind everyone this is just a template. So if you want to take some stuff out, if you feel as if it's not necessary, if you want to add some stuff in, that's also fine. But this is what I kind of just thought of as a bullet point. So I'm using this as an example. So it's this blog right here. No real reasoning or logic behind it. Just wanted to do it on this specific page, but it applies to basically every page as I'm gonna go through this document with you. So the first thing you want to do when you're creating this type of page, actually, I'll give you the overview firstly. So the first section is more like general detail. Then we get into the target KPIs for the page, and then finally we ended off with actually the keywords we want to rank with that page and the secondary terms. So yeah, let's go back to the very beginning. So the first thing you want to do is actually choose a page. So it really depends on what page you're looking to optimize. I recommend doing this exercise if you're just getting started off, probably with just your key pages. So maybe just your home page, maybe a couple of service pages or service pages or product pages, maybe a couple of blogs, important blogs, because this is a pretty lengthy exercise and you will have to dedicate, a good amount of time to it if you want to do it properly. So maybe just starting off with your only your key pages and then kind of working from there. If you have a big team, then feel free to do it. Feel free to do all of your pages, but once again, prioritizing the most important ones first, and then kind of taking it from there. You can also choose to move this entire thing into a Microsoft's Excel spreadsheet or a Google spreadsheet. That's also fine. I just kind of chose On-Page so I can have all three tables in one sort of section. I don't think this is easy to achieve with spreadsheets. So in any case, the first thing you want to do is you want to obviously give it a name. So whatever your name for the page is right here, and then you kind of add in the URL so everybody knows what you're kind of referencing. You want to firstly The first thing you want to do is you want to understand where you're kind of starting off, where your benchmarks. So it's always good to understand when you first updated this or when you first published it. Really depends on your team and how you want to approach it. But if you are creating every single time you create a page, you create one of these, then obviously it would be your publishing date. Going on to the next thing, I also feel as if a review date's important because you might have published this blog, 2-3 years ago. Unless you're kind of tracking how you're kind of it's that page is getting built upon and getting improved upon, it's kind of hard to tell. And obviously if you have this number right here, or if you have this date right here, it will be very easy for you to tell when you last modified your page. So if that was like 2-3 years ago, then you know that this becomes a priority and that you need to update this sooner rather than later. It's always good to build up a backlog, or just some paper trail as to what kind of changes you are making. So traditionally what happens is when you're working with when you're building a tool, so you're working with some code, or you're feeding analytics to your website. Normally what happens is that all of that gets logged pretty automatically. So take Google Tag Manager, for example. Every single time you publish a change, it's being logged, just so you know that at this point we made this change and we saw a massive increase in traffic. At this point we made this change and we saw kind of a dip in traffic, so you can kind of trace back to what's actually happening and what kind of changes you're making. Once again, since I don't own Best Buy or Best Buy's blog, these are all just like made up stuff, so I'm just saying it got published on August 1st, then on August 23rd, once again hypothetically, I added in some supporting keywords. These are supporting keywords I added in. Then I came back to it on January 2nd and I added in an internal link to this page. So it's all being tracked as it kind of goes along. In terms of hierarchy, what you're really looking for is, I think it fits into one of two pages. So it's either the pillar page or the most important page, or it's a supporting page for that pillar page. So this page specifically, as far as I can see, after scanning it, it is a supporting page for a couple of other more important pages, which I'll bring up a little bit later. And by the way, if you're working on your own website, you already know which ones are your supporting pages and which one are your key pages. So for example, you're working down a hierarchy. So let's just say sketch. Yeah. So let's just say, for example, you are, you have your keep you have your home page, then you might have a couple of service pages that are attached to it, or a couple of product pages that you really want, because these are the more commercial pages. You want these to rank high for whatever. So let's say you're an HR company, so you want your, HR software page being ranked the highest, whether that's your homepage or whether that's one of your supporting pages. For Best Buy specifically, they probably wanted their smartwatch page and their fitness page to rank higher. So hence they created this page, because it would be a good educational piece for the audience to kind of understand and help them make their choices. But also what it happens is that when you're publishing content like this, which is related to your target, to your support pages, or to the pages that you're kind of supporting, it helps you build topical relevance within that niche, as well as you can start sending internal links back to this page. So what's happening here is that you have these two pages, which are basically probably the reason why this page got written from an SEO perspective, just to give links back to these two pages, and essentially help these two pages rank higher as a result, because internal links matter a lot. So basically, this is like the smartwatch page, and they went ahead, they did their keyword research, they understood that people are really searching for smartwatch uh, versus fitness tracker. People don't know about that, so they saw an opportunity to create this blog and link it back to their smartwatch page, as well as their fitness tracker page. So you need to understand where it kind of falls into the hierarchy. So this is obviously a supporting page. Then what you're going to go into is intent. So what we're trying to explore here, I kind of give two options, but you can have other intents than just this. It's either an educational piece or it's a commercial piece. So once again, going back to our example, this is an informational piece, because obviously it's like a long form blog, lots of words, no real CTAs there for people to convert, but they do provide internal links to other content, such as this one and this one. So these are their conversion pages. So if I was optimizing this page, what I would be doing is I would change that intent to commercial, because what essentially is happening here is that this is a page that's really trying to sell me something. It's not really passing along too much information, but it's really trying to sell me the product itself at this point. Whereas this one's trying to educate me, this one's trying to really sell me. So that's why I kind of have this section right here, where it's basically, why is this page being built, and the reasons I provided, or the hypothetical reasons that I provided, were to support the categories, the smartwatch pages, as well as the fitness tracker page. So that's the number one SEO reason why this page might have been built, is to attract natural links. And once again, if you have these pages interlinked, what's going to happen is that once this page starts to attract links, all that link juice is going to get passed on to these two pages, because they're already being interlinked, as we've already seen through our example. So this would be an internal link. This would be an internal link. So the other reason why we would want to do it is we obviously want to rank for smartwatch versus fitness tracker, which obviously has considerable less volume than smartwatches, or by smartwatches, or fitness tracker by fitness tracker, but it still has enough search volume for us to justify building this page. And then finally, some thought leadership, because it does go into a little bit of nitty gritty. It kind of answers the customer's questions. So these are the reasons why I believe, from an SEO perspective, this page should be built, or was built. Now, in terms of target cluster, you can view it a couple of different ways. So I don't believe that the target cluster is smartwatches or fitness trackers. Is actually one step above that. It's actually wearable technology, and I basically simply found that because you just go in here, and where do you actually, like, when you click on to these pages, like like what are the higher levels of this page, and it's obviously, it goes into smartwatches and accessory, and then it goes into wearable technology. So that would be the cluster, or the target cluster of this page. Is just being expanded upon. So we're not really using wearable technology, but we're taking one of the terms that's related to wearable technology. Another good thing to do is quickly pull up your keyword list. So whenever you actually, pull that up, just mention the date, as well as just this I believe is from SCMrush, and you have all the keywords that you're currently ranking for, just so you can keep track of it. And obviously you don't need to do this, but it's good to have, because a lot of tools, they don't really track where you were ranking like a year ago, 2 years ago, on like basic plans or free plans. You can do with more advanced plans, but those plans are a little bit more expensive. So in order for them to save all this data, they end up charging you more. So unless you want to pay those prices to find that out, it's just easier to kind of just pull these lists as you're going through the process. Then you're going to go into the target keyword for the page. Is different from the cluster. The cluster is more the higher level, whereas the target keyword for this page is this right here. So this is what the page is being optimized around. So it's good to have one reason why you're building a page, or one target keyword on the page, and from what, as far as I can see, this is the keyword that you would want to be optimizing this page for, because it has the most search volume within this cluster of keywords. Some of the supporting keywords are right here. So these keywords are not this specific keyword, but they're related to it, and it would be good to also have these on the page, because they have search volume, they're easy to rank for, and you wouldn't really want to build an entire page to target these keywords. So it's better to kind of just fit them into this larger page, because it does have it's justified building this page, whereas these pages, it might not be justified, and unless you have them on your page, it's very hard to sort of rank for them. Finally, you have your title tag. So this is something you would want to have in your on-page document, and your title tag is basically, let me just get rid of this. Your title tag is basically this right here. So what appears in search. So let me go right here. So this is basically your title tag. This is what will appear in search engines when someone searches and your article gets ranked. This is actually a pretty good title tag, so hence I say no change required, which is totally fine. But then I provide a couple of different options. So as you can see, like I'm really trying to stress buy in here. I'm really trying to stress my target keyword, so I'm trying to put that in like the first couple of words, and then I'm kind of using some of like just other sort of keywords that could be triggered as I'm trying to these are just keywords that people would be looking for when they're looking for this specific thing. So it'd be a smart idea to kind of try to fit some of these other things in. But as far as I can see, this is a pretty good title tag, and I wouldn't really change it. But these would be my recommendations if I was to. This is the title. This is the meta description. Once again, comes up in the search results when you search for it. It's right here. And once again, after reading it, I thought it was pretty good, so I wouldn't really recommend any changes. But then again, I offered some other choices with some additional, modifiers or LSIs or supporting keywords, whatever you want to call them. This is the H1. This is another important thing to measure. You should also be looking at H2 to H6, but H1 is usually the most important. Once again, I think they did a pretty good job of it, and the H1 is right here. This is the H1, and if you have tools, you can quickly find that out. I would want to investigate why it's being shown like this, but yeah, so this is the H1 right here. Once again, no change required, but I kind of gave two other options. So when another thing you would want to do with this on-page document is try to think of, and this is not mandatory, or this is not traditionally on an on-page document, but I like putting it. It's helpful when you're building links or you're building internal links. So when this is the ideal anchor tags. So anchor tags could be, and I'll just show you what an anchor tag is right now. This is an anchor tag, so it's linking to this page. So it's linking to the smartwatch page, but it's using this word to link to it. So this is your anchor tag. Just like fitness tracker, when I click on it, it goes to this page, which is the fitness tracker page, but the word that's being used to link to it is fitness tracker. So this is the anchor tag. So it's ideal that you have a good variation of anchor tags, but it's also important to have keywords in your anchor tag. And when it's on your own website, it's ideal that you have keyword rich anchor tags, because it's on your own website, you get to control it. When it's on other people's website, you don't really get to control how they're sort of linking to you. So when it's on your own website, it's advisable to kind of use those exact match anchor tags. So I want to give that information within this document. So the keywords I'm really trying to put it in my anchor tags are these two right here. Then I also want to give some supporting, because what's important is anchor tag diversity. If I get 5 internal links and they all look like this, it's a little bit devalued, because Google doesn't look at that to be natural. Or if I'm getting all my links and they all have my exact match anchor tag, Google can see that as manipulation. They might actually, it might actually hurt your page. So it's good to have diversity. So I want to give other options. Or if the article has nothing to do with, or if the article doesn't really fit in this keyword, at least they have other keywords to sort of pick from. So this is both for external link building as well as when you're internally building links. So let's say you write an article, you've already used this exact match a lot, so you might want to use one of these other ones, and they would also really help you rank. And then finally, what I want to do is I want to have modifiers in there. So these are just basically other terms that I want surrounded when this anchor tag is being used, or it needs to be part of the anchor tag. So, I have modifiers like comparison, review, best. Just by reading the article, it seems like that's sort of like the intent with it. I also want to maybe put in buy, online, shop. Less likely, because this is an informational type blog, but then I'm also putting runners, seniors, hiking, because I'm seeing that in the keywords a lot. So best trackers for seniors, best fitness watches for hikers. So I want to kind of try to keep those sort of modifiers in there, as well as I was seeing a lot of brands, and then I'm also seeing a lot of different functions of these tools. So I want to make sure that these are either included in the anchor tag or are around the anchor tag if I do have that control. So like I was talking about before, this is either a support page or a support. It's either a support it page or a supporting page, right? So the pages that this page is I might have messed this two things up, but in any case, I'll go ahead. So the page that the reason why this page like the two pages that this page is supporting is the smartwatch. So we've already seen an example of that. So it's like these two are most likely the internal links that were most important on this page, and this article is probably written to kind of help build topical relevance within this niche, answer the question, as well as get these two pages internal links, so that Google can start ranking these two pages a little bit higher. So what I like to do is, just put the title of the page, put the link of the page, as well as the anchor tag that is being used, and then these are probably the most important pages that are supporting this specific page. And then you also have pages that are currently being supported. Once again, just mind my error right here. I kind of messed these two up. So it's being supported by these pages. So once again, the same logic applies. The more pages that are relevant on your website that are linking to a specific page. So say you want to rank this page, right? It's one way to do it is to write a really great page that's way better than others. Another way to do it is to build the most amount of links to this page. And another way to do it is to have a lot of internal pages that are linking to this page. Usually SEO is a combination of all three of the things that I said, but Google needs to know which pages are the most important on your website. And the way that it does it is it sometimes looks at pages which are giving the most amount of internal links to certain pages. So we know that this page is more important than these two pages in the hierarchy of things. So these two are supporting this page right here. Let's go back here. So these are hypothetical blogs that they aren't really written, but I was just trying to this page actually has no links going to it. Like if you were to check this out, it has no like no other page on the website, on the Best Buy website, is linking this page. So I'll have to kind of make this up. So what I made up was, say they wrote a blog about Christmas gifts, right? So that they're thinking about, hey, this page is doing really well. So this should I buy a smartwatch or fitness tracker is doing really well. So now we want to actually boost up this page. So we start sending it backlinks. We start making the copy better. But what we should also try to do is send internal links to it, so Google knows that it's an important page on our website. So what I would might do is I might write an article about the 15 best gift ideas for dad, and I might link to this blog using this anchor tag. So within that, I kind of am just like, hey, you might want to get some wearable technology, and you should check if you're debating between smartwatches versus fitness tracker, check out this blog, and this would be the anchor tag. And then I might write another article about best health gadgets for seniors, and once again I might just put this as the anchor tag and then link it back to my main page. And then you have summer essentials for hikers. That's another made up blog. And then you might use another anchor tag, which is honest comparison. So you can kind of see that here. And then finally you have your notes, where you can kind of put anything. You can, if you're writing new copy, you can put it over here. You can link to it. If you just wireframe the new section, you can go ahead and link that as well. So that's the first part of it. Obviously, it could be a lot more comprehensive because there's a lot of other things that I kind of left out of there. But I think this is a very good start. If you haven't worked on it, it's probably even a little bit more than a great start. Yeah, you could probably take some things out and still have a really good report. But this is what I thought was important, so I wanted to pass along to you. So in our next thing that we want to do, just one sec. Sorry, I was just drinking coffee. So the next thing that you want to do is set targets. So the first thing you need to understand is that Google doesn't rank websites. So when you search, you know, when you search this up, Google doesn't rank Best Buy. It ranks the blog. So Google doesn't rank. Um, it doesn't rank websites. It ranks specific pages. So you need to have data on a page per page basis. So if you're investing a lot of effort into this page, what you might want to do is use something like this, just so you can track your progress. So once again, it's important to understand when you first started tracking, so that you can kind of see, like 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, et cetera, what's happening. So that's the first thing. Now you can use this spreadsheet in two different ways. You can either use this as a forecast, so you're kind of putting down what your forecasting is going to happen, or you're actually coming back after 3 months and you're putting down specific numbers. I just want to kind of fill it out, just to kind of give you an idea. So the things that I think are really important to track, and once again, there's a ton of other stuff that you can track, is firstly ranking keywords. So the number of ranking keywords, you would find that out through SEMrush, or wherever you got your initial list from, wherever you got your current keyword list from. You would look at Search Console. So you're looking at your Google Search Console for the number of clicks this page is specifically getting. You're looking at the number of impressions, which I think is also important. You're looking at organic traffic, once again, just to this specific page. You're looking at internal links, so the links that are actually coming in. So the ones that I mentioned right here. Yeah, the ones that are coming into this page, because that's what's going to help it rank higher, give it more authority, et cetera, et cetera. Number of links built to this page. So this is like backlinks. So what's going to happen is that when you're actually trying to rank for something, what you're going to start to see is that certain pages are gonna, and it's different for this one, but you can see that this one has 19 referring domains. And that is basically individual websites that are giving this blog a backlink. You can see this one has 68. You can see this one has 22, 47, uh, 52, and so on and so on. So what you're gonna want to do is you should probably try to track. Um, you should probably try to get an average of how many backlinks your competitors have, just so you can kind of gauge, how many more that you need to sort of build. This blog is already ranking number one, even with less backlinks, probably because the backlinks are better, as well as the domain is so authoritative that Google gave it a boost. So although Google doesn't rank websites, the website itself does influence where the page ranks. So the more authoritative your website is, the more likely to rank higher for competitive keywords, even if you don't have as many backlinks or you don't have as many words, et cetera, et cetera. You would also want to track how many number of words are on this page, especially considering that it is a informational page, and those tend to be very correlated with the amount of words that are being written. And then finally, you're looking at URL rating. So I kind of put competition down here because I was just taking averages of all the people out there. So you can see right here the URL rating, which is on a scale from 0 to 100, and it's basically the same thing as authority score or domain rating. It kind of just gives you an idea as to how authoritative that page is, not the website. So domain rating is the entire domain, whereas so domain rating is the entire domain. URL rating is just that individual page. So you would want to check that out as well, or just track that over some period of time. So I put down some benchmarks from the competition right here. I can't obviously get their clicks, impressions, and organic traffic because those are proprietary tools which I don't have access to. Uh, uh, so you would just leave this blank because you don't have access to this when it comes to competition. And then you kind of just uh, start putting your own. So once again, these are hypothetical, and I just kind of put some numbers down. And like I said before, you can use this as a forecast. So we expect within 3 months to have 100 keywords ranking. So you can use it like that, or you can just come back after 3 months and just be like, hey, after 3 months, 100 keywords are ranking. So I wanted to kind of give you both options. You might even want to duplicate this. One is a forecast and one as actually tracking. That's up to you. But yeah, so that's it for this one. So these are the KPIs, and this is how you kind of run through. So you come back after 6 months, after 12 months, after 18 months, and you're kind of just writing down what's happening, and you can just take your notes over here. And then finally, what you have is what you want to start tracking is your target and your supporting keywords. So it's very important to track this because these are the keywords you want to move up. So in addition to all of these metrics, you also want to make sure that you are ranking for the correct stuff, because you don't want to be driving too much traffic for your secondary keywords, which might not really lead to the result that you want. Or it might be too informational, or it might be, it's just not the right keyword. So you want to make sure the keywords you want to rank for are actually being tracked. So you take all these keywords right here, you put down when you first started tracking them, so you can have some ideas to when it first started. Then you're once again, you only have two options, so it's either a primary keyword or a secondary keyword, so you can track as many as you want. And you don't really even have to do this in the Notion board. Yeah, there's plenty of keyword tracking tools that will do this for you. But just wanted to kind of put it in here just in case you want to have this information on hand so you can pass it along to other people. Also, once again, you would have to have like a pretty advanced plan in order for it to track like 2 years ago where you were. Most of them try to only give you like a certain amount of memory because it does cost them. So yeah, it's cheaper to do it this way. In any case, you write down all your benchmarks where you're currently ranking, and once again, you can use this as a forecast. So you can just be like, hey, in after month 3, we're in position number 40, or after month number 6, we would want to be in position number 20. After month number 12, we would want to be in position number 10. After month number 18, we would want to be in top 5 for these specific keywords. Or you can just come back after 3 months, hey, we're in position 43. After 6 months, we're in position 21. Either way is fine. You might even want to do both. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So once again, these are after 3 months, or just like what's happening after 3 months. And then you have just your notes here if you ever need to reference that. Apart from that, yeah, these are just other metrics which you can kind of utilize as well. These are some of the best tools for the job. I currently use all of these, so yeah, speaking from experience. But yeah, I think if you do this and if you have a couple of pages which are really important, I think it's really going to help you improve your organic traffic and organic conversions even happening on those pages. One important thing that I might want to quickly show you is that just finding secondary keywords, I know it's pretty hard for people. So I just want to quickly show you the two best ways that I found are basically are firstly just looking at your own SEM rush, right? So let me actually pull that up one sec. Sorry, I had to pause for a sec. A lot of like client information on like the home screen that I can't really share with anyone. So yeah, so you come over here, you feed it into whatever keyword tool you're doing. Make sure you're doing exact URL. And once again, the exercise here is that we're trying to find secondary keywords, right? So let's look at all the keywords that this page is ranking for. So the first and most likely to rank for keywords are going to be here. So one thing I would definitely add into this page if they haven't already is this keyword right here, difference between smartwatch and fitness tracker. I would add it as like an exact, like I would write it out like that, and I think that should probably help a lot. And I would also use that as an anchor tag. Um, Apart from that, is Fitbit considered a smartwatch? Maybe you want to add that in there, and they're already ranking number one, but there's some traffic around it. So like yeah, this is where you're kind of finding all your secondary keywords. What is a tracker watch? You would want a fitness for seniors. So this is the first place you would look for it. The other place you might want to look for secondary keywords is let's just take result number two here. So actually, I think okay. So you can either do it this way. So you can either put them down right here, and once again, you're looking at exact URL. So once again, it's going to give you a whole bunch. So this one's actually ranking for 981 keywords. So substantially less. So you can probably find a whole bunch more that you can put onto your page. But apart from that, there's also keyword gap. And to be honest with you, if I'm analyzing like 15 different results, I would probably want to use this and just yeah, find 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 all of them. Just make sure you're using the root domain and you're kind of comparing it with your own website, and then that way you can kind of find gaps. So this is not you, so it's right here, and then you would just put your own right here, and I'm pretty sure every keyword tool kind of lets you do that. And then that way you can kind of quickly tell which are the keywords that the other website is ranking for but you are currently not. Then that way you can kind of put all those keywords in here, and you can do this across like all the ones that are currently ranking, so not just one by one. You can do it for all of them all at once. But yeah, so that's one way of finding it. Competitors is the other way of finding it, which I just showed you through keyword gaps. And then finally, the other way of finding it is through this right here. So this is my website, pretty new. But yeah, so just wanted to quickly go through it. So you would basically just put in your filter, which is, let's just say, this page right here. And then what you do is you go into queries, and you can see all the queries right here. You can see all the queries that people are searching in Google to find my page, and you can kind of filter it by keywords, by clicks, or you can do it by impressions, just so I can see which ones have the most amount. And then once again, I can kind of put that in because I know for a fact I don't have the word reseller, but I saw me ranking for it. Let me just find that. SEO reseller Toronto. So like that's something I'm getting impressions for, probably ranked in like position 80 to 100 in. But if I wanted to optimize for it, I would take that keyword and kind of put it into my uh, yeah, put it into my page. Expert SEO firm. I don't think I have that on my page either. Um, SEO consultant GTA. I don't have that either. But yeah, so basically that's how I would. Those are the three ways that I would go about finding keywords. Just look at the ones that you're currently ranking for, look at the ones your competitors are ranking for, but you're not, and then look at your own search console. But yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I anticipate if you do this fast, it would probably take you 30 minutes to complete. If you're working a little bit slower, if it's your first time doing it, it'll probably take you about an hour to do it, but you'll obviously get pretty fast at doing this, and just maintaining it. And everybody in your team is going to be really thankful for you kind of taking this initiative to go on a page per page level, because that's where SEO is kind of going. It's it's tough days out there, and you really have to compete, because your competitors are doing this, so you need to also try to do it. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.